1962, I was the action chairman for the Los Angeles Congress of Racial Equality. And a black couple came to us one day and said they wanted to buy this house in the housing tract. And they went to put an application to get a mortgage. And then the builder came back and said their mortgage was refused. So this woman particularly really wanted this house. So she went out and raised the money. She got the money from some other bank. So she came back to the housing tract and said, well, I can pay cash for this house. And they said, we're sorry, it's sold. So she came to us and told us this case. I said, all right, I'll look into it. So I sent a white woman out to the tract the next week. And sure, this house was available. She says, I'm interested in this house. The salesman was all over trying to sell this house. Says, well, I like it very much. I got to have my husband come out and see if he'll come out on Sunday. Oh, sure thing. Sunday I show up. I say, my wife was out here. She saw this house. I want to look at it. I said, we're very interested in it. But I brought a tape measure. I'd like to make some measurements. Can I go in the house to see if our furniture and drapes and whatnot? Here's the keys. Go ahead. So I got the keys. I opened the door to the house. And the Congress of Racial Equality moved in. And we sent telegrams to the President of the United States, the Attorney General, the Governor of the state's Attorney General, all the law enforcement officials, all the news media, and all the civil authorities, telling them that we own this house. If the guy will come with the deed, we will give him the cash. And we lived there. Got it? Yeah. After about a week, at about 4 in the morning, the police came and arrested the 4 people that were there at the time. I wasn't one of them. And they changed the locks on the door. And so we moved back onto the lawn. They didn't like us in the house. They liked us less on the lawn. And they arrested us. Got 4 times we were arrested. Finally, this went to the court. And the judge took this thing and he nullified 2 laws at once. He says, you guys in the Congress of Racial Equality, I'm throwing this case out.
I'm fine.
I'm ordering you to stay out of that tract. And he made it clear that if we didn't, that we'd have some time to think about it. But he didn't find us guilty of trespassing. He dismissed the trespassing charges. He nullified them. And he told the builder, he says, there's a law in this state that says it's illegal to discriminate in the sale of houses based on color, national origin, and whatnot. And there's a $100 fine if you violate this law. This was the biggest builder in all of California. He had $194 million worth of homes at the time, about $10 billion today they would be worth. He says, you've done nothing wrong either. He says, but I'm placing you under court orders to obey that law, and if you don't, you'll have some time to think about it. The next week, the guy sold a house to the family, opened up all his tracts in Northern and Southern California. And meanwhile, there was another housing tract which we had driven out of business. And we were negotiating with Home Savings and Loan, which was the biggest mortgage lender in the state. And they agreed to put up the mortgages for these houses. And that's how we ended housing segregation in California. Wow. In 1962. And this judge basically nullified 2 laws in one shot. The fair rights law he didn't enforce against the builder, and he didn't enforce the trespassing law against us, but he handled it in such a way that we knew we'd better not have it happen again.
Yeah, 48 years.